Did Portugal steal wine history from France and Italy? Think again. While the world obsesses over Bordeaux and Tuscany, Portugal quietly holds the crown for the world's oldest demarcated wine region. And it wasn't just about taste, it was about politics, power, and survival. Yes, monks, treaties, and even volcanic islands shaped a wine culture like no other. Intrigued? You should be. In today's video, we're diving deep into the secret history of Portuguese wine. A journey of ancient traditions, fortified revolutions, forgotten grape heroes, and a comeback story worthy of Netflix. Whether you're a casual sipper or a curious learner, what you'll discover today will change how you look at wine forever. Ancient beginnings, 4,000 years of wine culture. Wine in Portugal didn't start with the Portuguese. More than 4,000 years ago, the Tartessians, an ancient Iberian people, were already cultivating vines. But things escalated when Mediterranean superpowers stepped in. The Phoenicians, Greeks, and eventually the Romans. And when the Romans arrived, they didn't just bring togas and aqueducts. They brought full-blown wine civilization. They introduced amphorae aging, large-scale vineyard cultivation, and fermentation techniques that laid the groundwork for what Portugal's wine scene would become. Regions like the Douro and Alentejo flourished under Roman rule, not just as agricultural hubs, but as sacred wine-growing lands. Wine wasn't just a drink, it was ritual, commerce, and culture. The monks who saved Portuguese wine flash forward to the Middle Ages, and it's monks to the rescue. As Europe entered a chaotic era of invasions and plagues, monasteries became safe havens, not just for souls, but for wine. Monks in Portugal preserved ancient viticulture techniques, planted vineyards, and created wines for religious rites, but also for trade and survival. They wrote down everything, keeping wine knowledge alive when the world was burning. By the 12th century, Portugal declared independence from the Kingdom of Leon, and wine became a crucial part of the economy, both as a local staple and a valuable export. A treaty that changed everything. Now here comes the twist in the tale, a treaty that flipped the global wine trade. In 1703, Portugal signed the Methuen Treaty with England. This wasn't just some dusty political document. This was the birth of a billion-dollar wine dynasty. Under the treaty, English merchants gained easier access to Portuguese wines in exchange for British textiles entering Portugal. The result? A boom in the port wine industry. British merchants settled in the Douro Valley, experimented with adding grape spirit to stop fermentation, and boom, port wine was born. Rich, fortified, and high in alcohol, it quickly became a British favorite. In fact, by 1756, the Douro Valley was officially declared a demarcated wine region, beating both Bordeaux and Chianti to the punch. Yes, Portugal created the world's first official wine appellation. Decline and comeback, but greatness comes at a cost. Fast forward to the 20th century, dictatorship, 2 world wars, and the rise of wine cooperatives stifled innovation. Quantity over quality became the motto, and Portugal's global wine reputation suffered. But then came the EU lifeline. In 1986, Portugal joined the European Union, and with it came funding, modernization, and reform. Winemakers embraced new technologies, better vineyard management, and a focus on quality over mass production. And just like that, Portugal's wine scene was reborn. Today, it's one of the most exciting wine countries in the world. Winemaking styles. Portugal doesn't just make wine, it makes every kind of wine. Let's break it down. Fortified wines. Port, Douro. Sweet, powerful, often aged for decades. Madeira, Madeira Island. Fortified and oxidized, literally baked by the sun. It can live for a century. Moscatel de Setúbal, sweet, muscat-based fortified wines with honey and floral notes. Still wines, red wines, rich, oak-aged, complex. Douro and Alentejo dominate, but Douro and Bairrada shine too. White wines, crisp, mineral-driven, often low alcohol. Vinho Verde and Douro lead the pack. Rosé wines, fresh, modern, and food-friendly. Sparkling wines, espumante, Portugal's answer to champagne, mostly from Bairrada using the traditional method. Amphora wines, Vinho de Talha. Remember those Roman amphorae? Portugal never gave them up. In Alentejo, winemakers still use clay pots called talhas, letting wines ferment naturally with skin contact. The result? Funky, bold, orange wines with ancient soul. Portuguese wine royalty. Think Portugal is all port? Think again. Barça Velha, the crown jewel of still red wines from Douro, made only in exceptional vintages. Pera Manca, a legendary wine from Alentejo, once served to Portuguese royalty. Esporão Reserva, a modern icon mixing innovation with tradition. Luis Pato, the rebel of Bairrada, famous for elevating the Baga grape. Blandis in Barbado, masters of Madeira, crafting wines aged for decades. Graham's, Taylor's, Newport, the titans of port, with cellars dating back centuries. These names are more than brands, they're legacies. A country of wine regions, terroir on steroids. Portugal may be small, but it delivers big when it comes to wine. With over 30 DOC, Denominação de Origem Controlada, regions, each offers something unique. Here are the major ones you should know. Douro DOC is the country's most iconic region. Its steep terraced vineyards produce bold reds, and of course, the legendary port wine. Vinho Verde DOC is in the lush, rainy northwest. It's famous for light, zesty white wines with a slight spritz, perfect for hot summer days. Down Dock sits in high-altitude terrain with granite soils. It's known for structured reds and crisp, elegant whites. Bairrada DOC lies along the coast and features chalky limestone soils. It's home to the bold Baga grape, great sparkling wines, and a touch of salty sea influence. Alentejo DOC spans warm, rolling plains. This region is a hotspot for innovation, producing rich reds and creamy oak-aged whites. Setúbal Peninsula is known for its sweet Moscatel wines and robust reds. Sun-drenched and spicy, this area delivers flavor-packed wines. Lisboa DOC is versatile and increasingly popular. It offers affordable quality wines and is quickly gaining international attention. Tejo and Beira Interior are quieter regions, but produce excellent wines. Inland climates here help create hidden gems worth discovering. Madeira DOC is all about volcanic magic. The fortified wines from this island can age for decades and remain fresh and complex. The Azores, Pico, Graciosa, Terceira, offer heroic viticulture. White wines are grown in volcanic rock enclosures, literally surrounded by lava stones. It's as dramatic as it sounds. The secret ingredients. Portugal's true superpower in the world of wine lies in its extraordinary grape varieties. While much of the world leans heavily on international stars like Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Chardonnay, Portugal proudly champions its own unique grapes. More than 250 indigenous varieties, many found nowhere else. Among red grapes, Touriga Nacional stands out as the flagship variety. Known for its power and perfume, it represents the strength of Portuguese red wine. Baga, native to the Bairrada region, is a structured and bold grape, sometimes challenging to work with, but unforgettable in the right hands. Trincadeira brings herbal and spicy notes, offering a unique twist to blends. Alicante Bouschet is rare in that it has red flesh as well as skin, making it one of the most deeply pigmented red grapes. Then there's Aragonés, Portugal's name for Tempranillo, a versatile and adaptive grape known across Iberia. For white wines, Alvarinho, often known as Alvarinho in Spain, delivers freshness, zest, and floral aromas, especially in the Vinho Verde region. Loureiro offers delicacy and floral elegance, while Encruzado from Daum is a refined, age-worthy white with depth and class. Antão Vaz gives full-bodied wines with tropical flavors, perfect for richer white styles. And Arinto, with its sharp acidity and adaptability, forms the backbone of many Portuguese white blends. No other wine-producing nation safeguards and celebrates its native grape heritage quite like Portugal. This commitment to uniqueness is what sets the country apart in the global wine scene, philosophy in a bottle. Wine in Portugal isn't just a drink, it's a philosophy, a way of life that blends centuries-old traditions with cutting-edge innovation. Every bottle reflects the soul of the land and the hands that shaped it. Tradition plays a central role in Portuguese winemaking. You'll still find age-old techniques in use, like fermenting wine in clay amphorae, crushing grapes by foot in granite lagares, and allowing wild yeast to drive fermentation. These methods connect today's wines with generations of history and craft, but innovation is equally embraced. Winemakers are turning to precision viticulture, low-intervention techniques, and sleek, modern branding to appeal to a global market. This balance of past and present keeps Portuguese wine vibrant and relevant. Blending is a core part of the culture. Unlike in France or the United States, where single varietal wines often dominate, Portugal is known for its complex blends. This practice allows winemakers to express harmony and depth using multiple native grape varieties. Terroir truly reigns supreme. Portugal's diverse geography, from 700 miles of dramatic coastline to volcanic islands, granite mountains, and fertile river valleys, offers an incredible range of microclimates. This variety gives Portugal one of the most diverse wine landscapes per square mile in the world. The wine labels decoded. Understanding Portuguese wine labels is easier than you might expect. At first glance, the names and terms can look a bit intimidating, but once you grasp the hierarchy and key phrases, it all starts to make sense. At the base level, you'll find Vinho, which simply means table wine. These are the most basic wines and are not tied to any specific region. While often simple, some hidden gems can still be found in this category. Next up is IGP, short for Indicação Geográfica Protegida. Wines labeled IGP come from broader regions and follow more flexible production rules. It's similar to the French concept of vin de pays, offering more character than basic table wine, but with more freedom for the winemaker. At the top of the pyramid is DOP, Denominação de Origem Protegida. This is the highest classification, with strict regulations on grape varieties, winemaking techniques, and precise regional boundaries. It's equivalent to France's AOC or Italy's DOCG, and guarantees a higher level of authenticity and quality. Beyond these classifications, you might notice a few special terms. Reserva typically means the wine has a higher alcohol content and has been aged longer than standard versions. Garrafeira is reserved for wines that have aged extensively and are often considered exceptional. Then there's Colheita Selecionada, which means selected harvest, and these are usually great value picks with elevated quality. Finally, Vinho de Talha refers to wines made using ancient clay amphorae, a traditional method recently given legal recognition in Portugal. So the next time you're browsing a Portuguese wine label, you'll know exactly what's in the bottle and what to expect from the first sip. So the next time someone tells you France or Italy rules the wine world, pour them a glass of Portuguese magic. A nation of forgotten grapes, ancient traditions, and volcanic vineyards might just give you the best wine you've never tried. If you learned something new, hit that like button, share this video with a wine-loving friend, and subscribe for more faceless deep dives into the world of wine. And let us know in the comments, which Portuguese wine are you most excited to try?